All right. Uh, Good morning, everyone. This is Yusuf from the Daily Money Market. Today, I wanted to bring you again the updates. The update of the week about the market, so that at least we can know how the week it was, and we can try to plan for the following week that is coming next week. So just a second, trying to get to live on this platform. Okay, here we go. So the market has been very, volatile for the whole week. From Monday, it was a bank holiday where a lot of volatility in the US. It was not moving. Coming on Tuesday, we saw different types of volatility. Pushing the instrument like Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. They're the ones that they were pushing the market all the way up. From Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that's where we see the dollar bringing up a high impact volatility with the CPI news as well as the PPI news. So definitely it's just an update just to make sure that we up to date about the markets, and again what has been happening for the whole week and what is the biggest news of the week so far. So in terms of the biggest news so far of the week, I think there were two big news that comes day before yesterday. There was CPI, which brings a little bit of volatility regarding the US dollar, regarding again US 30, Nasdaq, S&P 500, and coming on yesterday, the biggest news that comes yesterday was ECB announcement of interest rate. A lot of governors, they were expecting that they're gonna hold the interest rate without increasing it, but Governor Jesse and other governors also as well, they come up together. They decided to increase the interest rate with the 25 basis, the euro interest rate with the 25 basis points. So definitely following next week, that's where we are actually expecting a US to also increase the interest rate. So definitely the market is going to be very volatile coming the following week because of we're expecting the US to increase the interest rate. The another news that comes yesterday, it was it's one of the tech companies from Europe. These are companies that actually design the chips that are actually installed in our smartphones. So pretty much it's a company that a lot of people, we don't know about it, but each and every smartphone that we use, we are using a certain thing from ARM. So ARM was registered to Nasdaq yesterday. I think the conversation started long ago, but yesterday finally was registered, and it was a debut in a New York Stock Exchange. So when the market opened, there was a really excitement regarding ARM because of it pumped the volatility, or it pumped the investors in terms of Nasdaq to go all the way up. So we saw it Nasdaq yesterday. It was sitting at 15,289. We can say 15,200, somewhere around then. After the New York session open, it pushes the price all the way to 15,500 to 15,520. Yeah, that's where the Nasdaq it actually closed it yesterday, and it tried to drop a little bit. Right now it's sitting at 15,400, but imagine from 15,200 all the way to 15,500. That's a lot of pips. That's a lot of move. That if you were participating in the Nasdaq yesterday, and if you were aware about this company joining the Nasdaq, doing the debut on a Wall Street, you could have been able to make money. It follows as well with the US 30. US 30, it opened the market yesterday at 34,646, pushes the price all the way up to 34,980. In fact, 45,000. So think about it, from 34,500 to 35,000. That's over 500 pips being generated from that movement that happened yesterday. So definitely really, put the impact into a tech giant, which is the Nasdaq, and we are expecting, the investors to push the price, of Nasdaq as well as US data because of is there, all the way to go all the way up. So the question is, are we going to 1600, or we not yet there in terms of 1600? All right. So the price share of yesterday, it debuted at $51 per share price. That's plus minus 950 rand to buy that stock. They're actually estimating that it's going to make over $54 billion, in 3 years. That's the company what it's expecting, as well as they're going to also register in a European stock exchange. So in coming days or coming month, we're expecting to see being registered in euro, which is also when euro exchange start. Maybe it can join one of the UK 100 or FTSE 100, can join some of the indices in euro, because it's already a European company, so it's very easy to actually being part of the Europe. All right. So as we said, that is it's an update of the week from Monday. So as we said, Monday there was no much volatility expected because there was not much in terms of news on Monday. But coming on Tuesday, we saw Australian dollar having a business confidence, and which is the business confidence. It brings a high impact volatility to Australian dollar. It is actually a business sentiment changes quickly and can signal a future economic activity like spending or hiring, as well as investing. Later on, there was a GBP claim account change, or so-called unemployment change. It's actually a jobless claim. This indicators is crucial for economic health and again for monetary policy. So it happened on Tuesday. That's why the ECB interest rate comes on Thursday. All right. So moving on Tuesday, there was also a German economic sentiment, which is also it's one of the economic sentiment that pushes instrument like a German 30, all the way up, so that a lot of people that invest in German 30 or companies in German can start seeing some positivity in that instrument. On Wednesday, there was a GDP from British pounds, which is the gross domestic product, is the broadcast measure of economic activity and primarily gauge of the economic health. On the US, that's where there was consumer price index. That was Wednesday. We saw a lot of movement in terms of US 30, NAS 100, Euro USD, US index, people that were trading gold, because of this specific news. Moving on all the way to Thursday, which was yesterday, there was a little bit of Australian dollar also news. Unemployment change was there. Again, it's a job creation in important leading indicator of consumer spending, so that we know how much people they're actually employed in Australia, and that also drive the Sydney instrument, like Australian versus USD, Australian versus Swiss franc, Australian versus New Zealand dollar, Australian versus Canadian dollar. All the Sydney sessions, it was very hot on Thursday. Later on Thursday, that's where we saw yesterday PPI, which is Producer Price Index, which goes to month for insight to underlining the inflation trend, and again, which can impact the market expectation and trading strategies. So there was a lot of volatility in terms of US 30, NAS 100, Euro USD, dollar index, S&P 500, having high volatility impact there on Thursday. So today, as the last day, which is Friday, we expect we saw news early in the morning. Those that they were trading Asian market, the Chinese, they had the industrial production. They had also a retail sales around 4 a.m. So those that they actually trade Chinese instrument like CN50, JP225, China H, Hong Kong 50, they actually see a lot of high impact volatility early in the morning. Later on today, guys, we are expecting to see the US news from petroleum consumer sentiment. We are also expecting to see industrial production coming from US, which is petroleum consumer sentiment provide the insight into consumer attitudes and expectations, which can influence spending patterns and overall economic trends. These news, they are going to actually impact, NAS 100, USDT, dollar index. Gold is going to be there. Euro USD is going to have some kind of high impact volatility. So just to wrap it up, uh, the update of the week. I think again we're gonna do it again last week. Just if you watch this video, you can actually understand that there was a lot of opportunity in the market. That if you jump in the market, if you get our newsletters from 360 Capital, you'll be able to actually to start making a good profit. So just to recap, Monday there was no volatility. Tuesday there was Australian dollar, GBP, euros. They were having high impact. Wednesday it was GBP and the US dollar having high impact. Thursday there was Australian dollar, USD, and euros having high impact volatility. Today, Friday, we saw the Chinese, and the later on is going to be the US dollar having a higher volatility impact. So yeah, that's what happened in the market. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be bringing you, this update time to time so that at least we can know what's going on in the market. Salute.